What's up, my fellow karters? Wreckage here, and just like the title says, today I'm going to be talking about 8 in-depth tips to winning online races. So just sit back and relax, and I'm going to do my very best to make you guys better Mario Kart players. So these tips are not in any particular order, but this first tip I consider to be the most crucial, integral skill to learn in order to win online races and just getting better in general as a player. So let's just hop right into it. Tip number 1, what I consider to be the most crucial and important skill to Mario Kart, item management. When I say item management, I'm talking about when to keep, use, and dump your items. Mario Kart by nature is a chaotic game, and the RNG is designed to beat you up. Now, you can't 100% stop this, but you can control it to a certain degree. If you master this skill, I can guarantee you that you'll be in a winning position far more often than you ever have. So let's get down to it. I'm pretty much going to do this in 2 parts, one from the lead perspective and one from the middle of the pack and back perspective. So when you're in first in Mario Kart, it's going to be chaos because you're going to be getting pelted by everything imaginable. Blue shells, red shells, everything's going to be coming for you. And through item management, you can control it as best as possible to maintain your lead. So for blockers, you usually get bananas. You'll get shells every now and then, and in rare situations, you'll get those triple items like triple bananas. And that's a great thing to have because for the price of 1 item box, you get 3 blockers. That's beautiful. You just have to know how to drop block, and you can fully make use of that triple item. I'll teach that later on in the video under advanced blocking. Mushrooms you get every now and then. Mushrooms are great to have actually because let's say you get hit by red shells or anything else you can get hit by in this game, you can use a mushroom to recover from that immediately, and it pretty much puts you in the same position you were right before you got hit. Also, you can choose to hold on to the mushroom if you're not getting hit, and when a part of the course comes up with that special mushroom shortcut, you can take that and extend your lead a little bit, and chances are waiting in the wing there will be an item box. Map awareness is a big deal in first place. Just look at that mini map, know what's coming, know if that blue shell's coming. If the blue shell is coming, and let's say you have a banana and a coin, because that'll be the most common combo you're going to have, and you're hanging that banana behind you as a blocker, and the blue shell's coming up, drop the banana, because you're going to lose it once you get hit, so you might as well leave it behind you for a chance of some other player to hit it. Then once the blue shell hits, you're going to lose coins, right? So since you didn't use your coins yet or dump them, you can pop it right after the hit and pick up 1 coin that you dropped, and you're back at 10 coins. And what a lot of people don't realize is once you reach 10 coins in this game, you actually get a permanent top speed boost while you're holding the 10 coins. So generally it's a good idea to max out your coins on the first lap so you have that speed boost for the rest of the game, or at least until you get hit a million times. Another thing with dumping items, let's say you get green shells and whatnot, and you want to exchange it for a new item box and take the chance. Always dump everything behind you because if you fire it in front of you, nothing's going to happen, and you might even hit yourself. The green shells ricochet all over the place, so you got to be careful. So just dump stuff behind you. Same thing, fireballs. If you're using fireballs and you want to dump it, just dump it in a strafe. Go across the map and dump it one at a time behind you, and just leave like a gauntlet of fireballs for the players behind you to navigate. As for dumping your items, let's say you have a banana and a coin, you're coming up on a double item box. Now, I call this a 40-40-20% chance. If you dump that banana and coin in favor of a new double item box, there's a 40% chance you're going to get coin, a 40% chance blocker coin, and a 20% chance that you'll get 2 blockers. So based on your lead and you know, where you are on the map, you can pretty much make a judgment call to dump those items in favor of a risk of 2 blockers. It's not a bad thing to do, but sometimes you do get those double coins, and it can be your downfall in the match. So you got to be careful with that. So that's really it for the lead. Just maintain your blockers. You know, be aware of what's going on the map. Watch out for those blue shells. Strategically use your coins to recover some speed after you get hit. And yeah, that's it. Just be mindful of all that, and it should help you maintain your lead. Now, when you're in the middle of the pack to the back of the pack, this is when things get a little bit more tricky. So when you're in the back of the pack, really straightforward. You get all the good stuff, bullet bills, stars, mushrooms, lightning bolts. Just use it as you get it. You gotta climb up those places as fast as you can, so just blow through all your items. Once you get to the middle of the pack, though, it gets a little bit more tricky because this is where a good concentration of the players are, and a lot of them have pretty good items like triple red shells, uh, the horn. A lot of people get the horn in the middle of the pack, so you got to be very careful what you do. Don't get too close to people because chances are you're going to get hit by an item swirling around them, or when they crash into you and swerve in front of you, you can hit the banana or whatever they're holding behind them. So you got to be very careful and watch out for bombs. It's a lot of map awareness while you're in the middle of the pack. You got to be very alert to what's going on. The best way you can do it is just try and keep your distance as best as you can from everyone. You don't want to get so close because everything that I just said will happen to you. And it's going to be horrible because you're just going to go right back to the back of the pack. When you get certain items, use them strategically, like red shells. Wait for the chaos to unfold a little bit in front of you, and then pick and choose your targets. You can space out your shots, which is a great thing to do when you're in the middle of the pack. And in fact, I'll put a video up right here of me doing it just to demonstrate how good it can be. Because you can just hit someone with the red shell, pass them, hit someone with the red shell, pass them, and then hit someone with the red shell and pass them. If you space out the shots properly, you'll gain places real quick. It's a great thing to learn. Mushrooms are also good. Use those shortcuts, and the mushrooms don't always need to be used on those specific shortcuts. You can use the mushroom to just cut across the grass. I mean, that increases your speed tremendously. You'll be surprised how just going across a little patch of grass will give you a lead on someone. Everything else is just use your blockers. Just block everything you can because stuff's going to be flying at you. So map awareness, space out shots, and you should have an easier time climbing up. I'll go into more in depth about other things you can do to climb up later on in this video. I didn't want to get into too detailed about it right now, but as for item management, just space out your shots, watch the chaos, pick and choose a target. Also, don't forget, when someone gets hit, you can time your shots in a certain way where you can hit them again. Let's say you use your red shell, hit someone, give yourself a little bit of buffer, and then fire another red shell. Because once that person gets hit, they'll be wobbling around and start to recover, and then your second red shell will hit them and they'll slow them down double time. And actually, same thing you can do in first place. When someone passes you in first and you're in second waiting for another blue shell maybe to come to hit that guy in first place to give you a chance to retake the lead. And let's say you get a red shell, because you do get red shells a decent amount of time in first place, second place rather, sorry. And when that blue shell hits them, wait a little bit, give yourself a buffer, and fire a red shell. Double time them down. It'd be great. It'll help you out tremendously. So just take those things into consideration with your item management, and it should help you climb back up. Tip number 2, map awareness. So with map awareness, I'm talking about looking at the mini-map out of the corner of your eye and just know what's going on in general involving items and everyone else around the course. You always see the blue shell being fired, which is also an integral thing to notice, because with the blue shell, if you see it coming at you, you can actually position yourself, or at least try to position yourself, near one of the floor boosts. So when the blue shell hits, you can cover almost immediately riding on that floor boost. Now, it's not instant, obviously. There's going to be the lag of getting hit, and chances are someone will catch up or even pass you at that point, depending on how big of a lead you have. But if you hit that floor boost, it'll be a nice recovery. Everything else regarding map awareness is just knowing who's around you. Use your rear view mirror. You never know when an item's going to sneak up behind you. You might be distracted by something and not notice that green shell sound. I'm assuming you're going to notice the red shell sound because that's a nightmare-inducing sound. But that's about it for map awareness. Just keep your eyes open, pay attention to that mini-map, and try and position yourself when you're getting hit by things, blue shells or red shells alike. Tip number 3, advanced blocking. Now, you all know how to do the regular block. You'll get a single item like a banana or a green shell, and you pretty much just hold it behind you, and then when someone fires a red shell at you or a green shell or anything else, it'll hit that item and save your butt, and you can keep driving like nothing happened. One of the better ways to use it is you can hold the item with not actually using it in your hand so they can see. Just keep the item in the item box, and then when you hear the item coming at you, you can quickly pop it out. Now, the use of that is let's say someone has red shells and they're maybe saving it a little. You can trick them into firing it and getting rid of some of their arsenal by leading them to believe you don't actually have a blocker. Then you pop it out and get rid of one of their shells. Another thing to advance blocking is the triple items. So you got triple red shells and triple green shells, triple bananas. Now, when they're just circling around you, when you have all three and someone fires something at you, you generally don't have to do anything. Every now and then one will sneak past there and hit you, unfortunately. But for the most part, I would say about 90% of the time, or even a little bit more, they're going to hit one of those automatically. So you don't even need to think about it. But once you get to the point of having just two left, you have to do what is called a drop block. Now, drop block takes a little bit of practice, but when you learn how to do it, it's a really helpful skill, and it feels awesome when you pull it off. So when someone's firing, let's just use a red shell as an example. When they're firing a red shell at you, and you have, let's say, two bananas circling around you because your third one was taken out, when that red shell is getting close enough, you'll hear the noise get louder and louder. Once it gets loud enough, all you have to do is just release one of those bananas behind you, and it will 100% hit that blocker, because when it's close enough, that red shell will line up right behind you, and you can just perfectly drop that banana and it'll knock out the attacker. Same thing when you have one banana left. It's a very crucial skill to learn, because those triple items are amazing blockers. I mean, you pretty much, for the price of one item box, you have 3 blockers. That's freaking insane, especially if you're in first place. If you're in first place and you get a triple blocker, that's like so much of a buffer to keep you in the lead. It's incredible. So drop blocking is integral to learning this whole advanced blocking deal. The other thing about advanced blocking is the bomb. Now, the bomb is very deadly to you and the other players. Whenever I get a bomb as a blocker, I'm not exactly too excited about it, because I want to say 70% of the time, maybe even a little bit more, when someone fires a red shell at you, again, just using red shells as examples because they home, if you're holding that bomb behind you and the red shell hits, you're actually probably going to get caught in the explosion too, unless you're going very fast. So it's kind of integral to use the drop block when you have a bomb. I never hold on to a bomb anymore if someone's shooting something at me. I make sure to do a drop block, even at the risk of getting hit by one of their items. It's just much better idea to drop the bomb to block instead of hold on to it and risk blowing yourself up. But as for other blocking techniques, I mean, that's really it. I mean, you just got the basic blocking technique and the drop block. So just master that drop block, and those triple items, whew, those will save your butt, and it'll keep you in the lead for a while. Tip number 4, shortcuts. Now this will be a short and sweet one. Shortcut, short and sweet. I know it's retarded. But all you need to do is just learn the shortcuts on every single course. There's plenty of videos on YouTube showing off every single shortcut. Always try and make use of them, because not everyone uses them, and it will help you pass people, especially if you're behind. And if you're in the lead, it will help you give you that little bit more of a stretch in the lead. So again, just learn the shortcuts, check out those other videos with shortcuts, read up about it, and just practice them. You can practice them in one-player mode, in the time trials, whatever need be. Just learn the shortcuts. It's a big help. Tip number 5, how to climb back from last. Now, I know a lot of you guys are wondering how best to do this, because if you're trying to get better at Mario Kart, a lot of the time you're going to end up in the back of the pack or the middle of the pack, and this is a crucial thing to learn. So in general, obviously you want to use all the tips I'm talking about in this video. If you learn these tips and master them, I guarantee you're going to have a much easier time getting to the front of the pack. You're not always going to reach the front, because Mario Kart has, its own RNG that likes to beat you up. But you will get there much more than you used to. Other than that, there's other little things I can tell you to help you get to the front. So when you're in last, obviously you get all the good items, the bullet bills and things of that sort. So when you get that stuff, just blow it. You're in the back, just use it. Get to the next item box as fast as you can, because you will get the good stuff. You'll keep getting the good stuff till you get past like fourth place. So a general good rule of thumb is if you're in fourth and below, just keep dumping your green shells and bananas in favor of more item box random chances, because you'll get better items. Also, pay attention to the people around you. If you see people with triple green shells, triple red shells, sorry, and you have triple bananas or triple greens, or even a basic banana or a green as it blockers, let's say you got a bad roll in the back of the pack, you can either choose to go past them and use your blockers to eliminate their arsenal, or two, you can go behind them and try and eliminate their arsenal yourself by firing those green shells at them. Or if you choose it's fine to do, dump your items again and go for a new set of item boxes. Also, remember, put to use everything I'm talking about here, and it'll help you climb to the top. Take your shortcuts, make sure you're hitting your boosts, and just be aware of what's going on around you. I mean, that's the best thing I could tell you. So just follow all these tips, and I guarantee it'll help you climb back up to the front of the pack. Tip number 6, boost jumps. Now, when I'm talking about boost jumps, I'm talking about going over any ramp or cliff and hitting the jump button at the right time to get your mini turbo. It's crucial to hit as much of these as you can, because it adds up over the course of a match, especially if you're in first place. It'll keep extending your lead little by little, especially if the people behind you are missing their own boost jumps. Now, there's one type of boost jumps that I love to do, and I don't really see too many people doing it, maybe because they don't realize they can do it, or it might be a little too tough, but it's a great thing to learn. It's boost jumping in the middle of a corner. So, when you go into a corner and you're drifting, on some of the maps, there's actually a ramp or a cliff in the middle of the turn. When you're drifting into that turn, as you hit that ramp, release the drift button, hit it like you're going over a ramp, and you'll perform a boost jump. And you're going to hold that button down and continue your drift at the end of it. So it'll be like one long smooth transition from drift, boost jump, drift. And that's just a lot of boost throughout the whole turn. And you come out of the turn with your drift boost as well. It's really fun to do when you pull it off. Feels great, and it's a great thing to learn. So do your best, practice on that on time trials or whatnot by yourself in first player. But try your best to learn that, and always hit your boost jumps. Tip number 7, choose to corner. Now, when I say choose to corner, let's say Toad Harbor. That's a good example. Towards the end of the map, there's actually a big turn, and you'll see trolleys on the inside, and you can drive up on the wall on the left side, and you'll see there's boosts and everything along the wall. So you can either choose to corner on the inside, or you can take the wall and the boosts. Now, a lot of the time, I find that choosing to corner is the correct option, because not only are you taking the quickest course to get around that corner, but you're also getting your mini boost at the end. Now, some of them can be difficult to do, like on Toad Harbor, because there's trolleys there and you have to squeeze between the trolley, but again, it takes some practice to get used to. But if you can learn that skill and learn to drift better, that will put you out in a much better position at the end. If you actually pull it off and you're going side by side with someone on the wall, you'll notice that you'll actually get a much bigger lead than they will once you get out of that turn. So try your best to decide to corner over taking the walls. For the most part, it'll always be the better decision. And now the 8th and final tip, know your kart. So in this game, everything has stats, from the characters, to the carts, to the wheels, to the gliders, and when you put them all together, you get all sorts of crazy stat lines. If you want to know what stats you're using, feel free to download the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe calculator I created. I'll put this download in the description below. So know your kart. Basically, let's say you have a high ground speed and a low air speed, and you hit a blue ramp in the game and bring out your glider, and you see ground below. Get to the ground as fast as possible, because the air is just going to slow you down. So just get to the ground so you get that extra little bit of speed from your stat. Same thing for the opposite. Let's say you have high airspeed, low ground speed. You hit that blue ramp, stay in the air as long as possible and make use of that little bit of boost. If you pay attention to that, know your kart's strength, it'll definitely make you a better driver. It'll help you either extend your lead or help you catch up little by little. It all adds up in the end. So that's it, guys. That's all 8 in-depth tips to make you better at Mario Kart. I guarantee if you follow these tips, you'll get in the lead more often, you'll hold your lead, and you'll be able to climb back from last. Just do your best to practice everything that I've been talking about, and you will become a better player. My next video, I will be doing a balanced kart video. However, I do go on vacation May 14th for a week. I'll see if I can get it out before I leave. I'm not too sure if I will. And the video after that will be an acceleration kart video. While I'm away on vacation, I'll be studying acceleration karts on my downtime, just so I can give you guys a better video. But other than that, come by my Twitch, hang out, watch the show, check my YouTube, I have one video I released before on top speed karts, so if you want to take a look at that, feel free. Again, download the stat calculator if you want. If you like the stuff I'm putting out right now, feel free to give me a sub or a follow on Twitch, and as long as people are interested, I'll keep making these videos. But thank you for watching, guys. I hope this helps you out as best as possible, and have fun karting. See ya!
Mario Kart!